Hi there. Are you an effective team? The Black Critic Guy. Sorry I have not been making reviews recently. I actually have to study for exams because next week is exam week, so I promise after that week is over, I'll be shooting out more reviews, movie reviews, anime reviews, some old school TV reviews, so those will be coming soon. So this will be the last review until that week is over, and I just got back from seeing Oblivion, and I gotta say, I enjoyed a lot of this movie. Now, it kind of confused me at first, but as the story unfolds, things start to make a little more sense, and then I just overall just really enjoyed it. So the plot of Oblivion takes place 60 years after a war with an invading alien race. We won the war, but the aliens destroyed most of the world. And it follows Jack Harper, who's this technical guy who fixes these drones that patrol for the remaining scavengers who are left on Earth. And him and his girl teammate, like it's mentioned in the trailer, are the mop-up crew. They make sure everything's functioning right, everything's going according to plan, and if they do their job accurately, within 2 weeks they can join the others on Titan, the Moon, and Saturn. Or so it seems. And there is some more elements to the plot, but I don't want to give it away because it would be a spoiler, and I want you guys to go and experience it for yourselves. Now, when I first saw the trailer for Oblivion, I didn't really know what to think because I had no idea what the movie was about. I mean, yeah, post-apocalyptic world, Tom Cruise is the main guy, and then Morgan Freeman's hiding in the dark, so I was very intrigued to see what this movie was about. Now let's talk about some of the good things about the movie, and the first thing that really stands out to you, and it even stood out to me in the trailer, was the special effects. They look fantastic. I mean, for moments in the film, I actually felt like those were real drones, not like CG drones, and I actually felt like that was a real, like, dragonfly plane. It looked really real, and I love the detail that went into the special effects. The visuals and the cinematography just look fantastic. There were just some shots that made my jaw drop in awe. I mean, there were some beautiful shots in this film, and there was even this one scene where they're swimming in a pool. I don't want to give the scene too much away, but it actually looked really cool. The score gave this film a larger-than-life and epic tone. I mean, there were just some scenes that was really enhanced because of the score that went with it, especially in some scenes in the beginning and the ending scene. I thought the score was done masterfully, and it really gave you that, oh yeah, that's awesome tone. And going hand in hand with the visuals and the score, the action scenes were very exhilarating. I had a lot of fun watching these action scenes. I mean, they were intense and high octane. They kept you at the edge of your seat. I just wanted to see it unfold more and more. Now, as for the acting, not a lot of people stood out, but the acting was handled very well. In fact, the one that really stands out, and the one that I wanted to stand out, is actually the main character of Jack, played by Tom Cruise. I thought he was a very likable character. I really related to him. I got invested into his journey. He was my favorite character in the movie. I wanted to like him off the bat, and I did. He was a really likable character. And I really like Morgan Freeman's character, but the thing is, he wasn't really in the movie that much. I guess he was too busy doing voiceovers for like 10 other movies. But the fact that he was in the movie, good enough for me. And lastly, I thought the direction was handled pretty well. This is from the same guy that directed Tron Legacy, and I really feel like he's growing as a director. You can tell he's a very visual director, and he handles his visuals magnificently, and I thought he handled his camera work very well as well. Now, as much as I really enjoyed the visuals and the cinematography and the score, there are some things in this film that I really didn't like. Namely, Olga Kurylenko. I didn't like her acting in the film, and I felt like she was very wooden, and I didn't buy her relationship with Jack. It just felt, like I said, wooden. There was never a moment in the film where I'm like, man, these two have such great chemistry together. It just felt forced. And you could almost say that it's her fault because Tom Cruise didn't feel wooden in his performance, so it just might be her. And speaking of characters, besides the two characters that we meet in the beginning, Jack and Victoria, all the other characters are very underdeveloped, and I honestly had a hard time caring about the dilemmas and their struggles. Now, without giving any spoilers, you saw them in the trailer. There's this underground group of people, and it's explained later on who they are in the film, but I really would have loved to know more about them and more about just two people. There was only like two people that stood out in that entire group, and there was like maybe 50, 70 people in that group. I want to know more about the struggles, where they come from, how they survived. It just kind of coast over that, just went over them. And that's another thing that bothered me about this film. A lot of elements in the story just felt like they kind of coast over it. Like they just gave a little bit and then they didn't want to elaborate on it anymore. They just moved on to the next part of the story. Especially nearing the end. This is probably my biggest con. Nearing the end, there's some things that aren't resolved or explained. And it's really hard to explain because it's a huge spoiler, but basically at the end of the film, they neglect to answer one major question about something that was discovered later on in the movie. And I felt like they kind of coast over that and didn't explain what happened, what was the aftermath of this. But overall, although they left some pieces of the story out and they didn't develop all the characters as much as I wanted them to, I had a lot of fun watching Oblivion. It has some fantastic special effects. Probably the best special effects I've seen all year, with awesome cinematography, a riveting score that's just epic throughout, an awesome main character, and some compelling action scenes. And that's why I'm gonna give this film a 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's definitely worth watching, and if you get a chance to see it in IMAX, I would like to know how was the experience, because there were some shots in this film that if I saw it in IMAX, I probably would have been blown away. But anyway, what did you guys think of this film? Did you like it a lot? Did you find it to be another dull and boring post-apocalyptic story? And let me know, what is your favorite post-apocalyptic film? Comment below, let me know. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, I'm going to try to be making more anime, movie, TV show reviews as soon as possible. Once I get done with exam week, I promise I'll get right back on that. But until then, hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Welcome to the Black Critic Guy. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. Go check out my other videos as well. And I'm Tony Wally II from the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.